Old Trafford stood tall under the floodlights, breathing history into the cold night air. The theatre of dreams was alive not just with sound, but with expectation. This was not an ordinary match. This was the kind of night that defines seasons. The kind that separates pretenders from believers. From the first whistle, Manchester United played like a team carrying the weight of its past and the hunger for its future. The build-up, pressure, doubt, and belief. All week, the noise had been loud. United are inconsistent. They don't have killers. They can't handle pressure. The players heard it. The fans felt it. And the manager? He absorbed it quietly, knowing nights like this were the answer. As the tunnel doors opened, red shirts walked out with faces carved from focus. Bruno Fernandes led the line, jaw tight, eyes sharp. This was not a man here to participate. This was a man here to command. First half, United strike first. United didn't waste time feeling their way into the game. They pressed high. They pressed hard. Every tackle carried intent. Every pass carried urgency. Casemiro snapped into challenges like a warrior protecting his ground. Kobbie Mainoo glided through midfield with a calm that belied his age. And Bruno? Bruno conducted the tempo like a maestro with a burning orchestra. Then it came, a quick switch of play, a darting run down the flank, a low cross driven with purpose. Goal! Old Trafford erupted. The sound was primal raw joy mixed with relief and belief. Players rushed to the corner, fists pumping, shirts tugged, eyes wide. This was United reminding the world of who they were, but football is cruel. And it never lets you relax. The storm, when control slips, the opposition responded. They pushed higher. They tested United's resolve. One mistake. One loose touch. One moment of hesitation, and then punishment. The equalizer came like a slap across the face. Silence fell for half a second. Then murmurs. Then tension. United had been here before. Too often, but this time. Something was different. Heads didn't drop, shoulders didn't slump, eyes didn't panic. They regrouped. Halftime, words that matter. In the dressing room, there were no theatrics. No shouting for the sake of noise. Just clarity, play with courage. Trust the system. Win your battles. Simple words. Heavy meaning. When they came back out, Old Trafford rose again, scarves high, voices loud. The fans knew this night was still alive. Second half, grit over fear. The second half became a war. Tackles flew. Muscles burned. Lungs screamed. Onana stood tall, making saves that screamed authority. One stop. Then another. Each save fed the crowd. Each cheer fed the players. United began to dominate again, not with beauty alone, but with belief. The turning point, the captain's moment. Then came the moment that changes everything. Bruno Fernandes received the ball just outside the box. Time slowed. Space opened. Defenders hesitated, just for a heartbeat. That was all he needed. He struck the ball cleanly. Perfectly. Like destiny had guided his foot of goal. Old Trafford exploded into madness. Fans jumped. Strangers hugged. Drinks flew into the air. This was not just a goal, this was a release of years of frustration, doubt, and longing. Bruno ran toward the crowd, arms wide, shouting words only his heart understood. This is what leadership looks like. The final minutes, survival mode, but football always demands a price. The final minutes were chaos. Long balls. Last-ditch tackles. Blocks that hurt. Clearances that barely cleared. United suffered. United fought. Every second felt like a minute, every breath felt borrowed. And then, the whistle, full time. More than 3 points. United players collapsed to the ground, exhausted, victorious, alive. The fans stayed. Singing. Clapping. Believing again. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement, it was proof, it was Manchester United reminding the world. When the final whistle blew, the stadium didn't empty. It echoed. Old Trafford stayed alive long after the players walked off the pitch. Songs rolled down from the Stretford End like waves, crashing into memories of nights gone by, nights of glory, nights of pain, nights that shaped this club's soul. For Manchester United, this victory wasn't about the scoreline anymore. It was about identity, the aftermath. Faces tell stories. In the tunnel, sweat dripped from tired faces. Jerseys clung to bodies pushed to the edge. Some players smiled quietly. Others stared into space, replaying moments in their minds. Bruno Fernandes sat on the bench, hands on his knees, breathing deeply. The captain's armband was darkened with sweat, a symbol of responsibility worn honestly. That goal of his would be replayed endlessly. But what cameras wouldn't fully capture was everything before it: the tracking back, the arguments with teammates, the constant pointing, shouting, demanding more. Leadership is exhausting. And tonight, Bruno carried it fully. The manager's silence. In the dressing room, the manager waited. He didn't rush to speak. He let the noise die. He let the players feel the win and the cost of it. Then he spoke. "Remember this feeling," he said calmly, "not because we won, but because we earned it." No applause. No chest beating. Just understanding. This was a building block. Not the destination, individual battles within the war. Kobbie Mainoo, a young man in a grown man's game. Mainoo's performance went unnoticed by casual viewers and deeply respected by those who understand football. He took the ball under pressure. He didn't hide, he didn't rush. In moments where chaos ruled, he chose calm. That is rare. That is dangerous. That is Manchester United DNA. Casemiro, the Shield. This wasn't a glamorous night for Casemiro, and he loved that. Intercepting passes, breaking momentum, taking fouls when needed, he played like a man who had seen every version of pressure and refused to fear it. Onana, redemption in gloves. Every goalkeeper knows this truth: mistakes are remembered longer than saves. Onana knew the whispers. He heard the criticism. But tonight, he answered the only way that matters, with his hands. One save in the 72nd minute changed the entire match. Had that gone in, the story would have turned. Instead, it became a footnote erased by courage. The crowd, the 12th player reborn. This wasn't a polite crowd, this wasn't a quiet audience. This was Old Trafford, angry, hopeful, demanding. They roared tackles. They groaned mistakes, they lifted tired legs with noise alone. For years, people said the Theatre of Dreams had lost its fear factor. On this night, it found it again. The bigger picture, why this match matters: 3 points move you up the table, but belief moves mountains. This win sent a message to the dressing room: we can suffer and still win. It sent a message to rivals: don't come here expecting mercy. And it sent a message to fans: this team is still becoming. Night turns to morning. Outside the stadium, fans spilled into the streets, laughing, debating, replaying moments again and again. Taxi radios buzzed with analysis, phones glowed with highlights. Voices stayed hoarse long into the night. Somewhere in Manchester, a kid kicked a ball against a wall, pretending to be Bruno Fernandes. That's how legacy works. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel for more video. Thank you. Goodbye.